Hey friends, what's happening? This is Dr. Heather coming to you live from Ask Dr. Heather. And usually on Saturday mornings, you guys actually see me just doing a live, and I'm actually showing you all the amazing food that we've prepped for the week, or what the groceries look like that Dr. Ralph brings in from the store. But today I just thought I'd do it a little bit differently because today's kind of a super exciting day for me. So I think many of you who've been following me know that I actually had a skiing accident in 2014, fractured or crushed my right ankle, and ended up getting diagnosed with RSD, which is reflex sympathetic dystrophy, or CRPS, which is chronic regional pain syndrome. And so I knew that I had to go on a ketogenic diet. Ketones preserve lean muscle mass, they increase protein synthesis, they actually help the brain recover, because once I started having seizures, I started having swallowing issues, I was having tremors. I was at the Brain Institute and I ended up doing a brain MRI because they wanted to rule out that I was not having MS. But what they did find on my brain scan, this was in 2014, because again, I was having signs of ALS, signs of Parkinson's, signs of MS. So they found 2 lesions on my brain, the same place that, well, my substantia nigra and my red nucleus, for you science people out there. I usually don't share this information, but I knew the history of the ketogenic diet and what it had done for people who were epileptic. And I was having seizures, I was having tremors, but I also knew that it helped preserve lean muscle mass. And I was in super good shape in my late 40s when I fell. And then when the doctor said, hey, you just crushed your ankle, you're gonna have to be on crutches for like 6 weeks or so, and then you probably won't be back to running for 9 months, I was a little devastated. But then as it progressed into CRPS, then ended up being a wheelchair, and then started again having all these other weird symptoms, and I really had an early diagnosis of RSD or CRPS. Then I went deeper dived into the ketogenic diet, which actually stopped the migraines, it calmed down the seizures, it calmed down some of the tremors, it calmed down some of the vertigo. I continued on that path. And then when the therapeutic exogenous ketones came available, I started drinking them because I still was unable to attend church. I still was unable to go to big box stores because the lights would trigger a seizure, it would trigger tremors. But today, I'm not going to talk about that. Today's super exciting day. I had amputation as of April 1st, had a revision July of this year. So July 12th, I think, of 2019. And today is my first day of cooking. What CRPS did, I'm a mother of 4 amazing young men. I love to cook. I love to clean. I love homework. I love every bit of the mom job. I love being a doctor as well. I love winning. I love the detective work of being a doctor. But I also love being a mom. I say this all the time. If I knew I loved being a mom as much as I did, I don't know that I go through all the school. But again, I love being a doctor, and I always knew I wanted to be a doctor since the age of 5. But I never knew, reading about, they called it Sudex syndrome back in the day when I was in school, or RSD, reflex sympathetic dystrophy. I read about it. I had no idea what it would rob my life of. It robbed my life of my charity work. It robbed my life of being able to help others that I love doing, my community work, helping my kids in school, being present, driving. I can go down along the list. You guys can go look it up online. But I also love to cook. I think cooking was that one thing that I love to feed my family with. So today is my first big day. I don't know how to show you this, guys, and I'd love that Joe is on here. Joe, we still have to do a Facebook Live. Mike, it was great to see you this last weekend. I think I shared with Mike that I got my prosthesis. So today, if you guys can see this, let me see if I can do this. I am cooking with my prosthesis on today because my therapist wants me to do my activities of daily living, what I would normally do around my house, not just get out in the street and start walking. So today I'm cooking. And why I do the ketogenic diet is because it preserves lean muscle mass, it helps cognitions, and we were actually able to learn this weekend that it helps repair damaged brains, whether it's you had a grapefruit-sized brain tumor taken out of your brain, or PTSD, or depression, or anxiety. We got to learn all the whys and the whats, but oftentimes people say, I don't have time to eat healthy. I crave all that craving. I crave all that sugary stuff. So I can tell you, I'm cooking on one leg. I'm cooking on a prosthetic. I also have 2 arm crutches because I cannot bear total weight on my leg yet. I made a very simple, easy. We're having Chipotle chicken. My husband's gonna grill when he gets home. I have dark meat because that's where all the good amino acids are. And I don't care if we call it dirty, lazy keto cooking. I do have organic, hormone-free, non-GMO chicken thighs And then I just use Weber's Chipotle seasoning. In the old days when I was a cooking queen, I would say a diva of my kitchen, I would have put my own paprika, my own onion salt, my own cayenne pepper. I would have put my own natural chili peppers in there and done things like that. But I can't do it today. This is one carb, so I simply gonna put it on that. My husband's gonna grill it. Then we also we're gonna grill up a bunch of little peppers. So I cleaned up some peppers, cut them in half. I'm gonna put the same little seasoning all over that. And then we're also just gonna put it on a bed of lettuce or some pork rinds. When buying pork rinds, make sure you buy the ones that don't have the red dye number 40 and all their artificial MSG. Just buy the better quality ones that have like onion salt on them or sea salt, things like that. And then we're gonna make just some guacamole put on there, maybe some olives. It's that simple. And then the rice we're gonna use, Miracle makes Miracle noodles, also make a Miracle rice. You can use cauliflower rice by Green Giant. You can take your own cauliflower head and make your own cauliflower rice. I'm kind of lazy. I'm just gonna probably use pork rinds or lettuce or make like a lettuce bow with my Chipotle chicken. So we're just gonna grill it. You can see I've already got it marinated here and washed it up. And threw my seasoning on it, and it's that simple, guys. People think, oh, it doesn't taste good to eat healthy, and I crave all this other stuff. I crave this good stuff. My body craves this amino acid, all the vitamin C. There's more calcium in a red bell pepper than a glass of milk. And if you guys know I'm anti-dairy, so look up notmilk.com and look up all the things that we look at when gut health, we start talking about milk, and look at what they do to pasteurize the milk and what they do. What used to be a good thing from a cow is what they've done when they put it in a bottle. But more vitamin C and more calcium in a red bell pepper, guys. Onions, we know, are great kind of antibiotic for our body. Actually keep things nice and acidic in our body. There's lots of great things like sulfur in them. And again, cauliflower is also great for liver cleaner out. Someone asked me today if keto or ketones have any effect on how our white blood cell count can be our input. So Leanne, when we started talking about the ketogenic diet, what we do know is that after a 72-hour fast, that our body actually does something called autophagy. So before I had my first surgery, I actually pushed it back 6 weeks because I wanted to have 2 rounds of fasting. It's 24 hours of fasting. Our body increases human growth hormone, which we all want to do, increases lean muscle mass, increases protein synthesis, also increases dopamine and GABA. So a lot of people with chronic pain or depression need extra dopamine. We need extra GABA. We need to sleep because sleep is that secret weapon that gets our body repairing. And then at 72 hours, we actually make new white blood cells. Knowing that I was going to have an above knee amputation, and you don't want to do them back to back, you want to wait about 3 to 4 weeks in between. I want to have 2 big cycles of doing an extended reboot, or 60 to 72 hours, because at 72 hours, our body says, hey, it's kind of like pruning your trees. I'm going to get rid of all these white blood cell count that are kind of old and toxic. They've been kind of laying around for the last few weeks. And I'm going to make some new ones because I'm not digesting food 17 to 20 hours a day. Now I can focus on my immune system. Now I can make really good white blood cells. So keto actually has an amazing effect of making healthy new white blood count. So it can put it in the optimal level. It won't boost it high. Infection boosts it high because when our body's exposed to infections or viruses or parasites, it actually bursts out the white blood cells. It's like our army or infantry guys. It goes out there and attack them, and that's what we want to do. We want to have our white blood cell count between 5.0 and 7.5. So we want to have a nice amount of white blood cells to go out and attack things when we're coughed and sneezed on, especially this time of year. So going into surgery or having a chronic illness or something that has RSD or CRPS, as a lot of you warriors out there know, there is no cure for it. What we want to do is we want to keep it quiet. We want to keep it at peace. We don't want to make it mad so it rears its ugly head. But I want to let you know that it is possible to cook decadent, delicious meals that are healthy, that your whole family eat. I have 3 boys at home, 17, 20, 22, or almost 23, I should say. And you know what? They love this stuff. They love grilling. They'll eat the chicken. They'll eat the peppers. They may have a little basmati rice instead of the cauliflower rice. They can have more calories. Nick is 6'6". He can have a lot more carbs than I can, and he runs around, and he actually is an assistant manager or manager of a restaurant, and he walks 33 miles a week. So he has a lot more activity that he runs. And then my other son does a lot of CrossFit. So he actually runs a lot more calories or has a lot more higher carb intake than I do. But it's, again, identifying eating when hungry. Then over here on the stove, I'm gonna make some lasagna. I'm gonna use eggplant for noodles. I'm gonna use non-dairy, use the Daiya, D-I-A-Y-A, because dairy is a pro-inflammatory for me. I'm using some Semeca local sausage, so I'm gonna use that. Again, tomatoes are sometimes a pro-inflammatory for some people, but the lutein in tomatoes can also be great for this time of year. That's not overdoing the tomatoes, but once a month is okay to do that. But I just want to show you guys and share this with you that, there's always want to be hope. And I say, if I have to go through this, I want to give hope. I want to give inspiration. Know that you can always overcome something and just keep moving forward inch by inch. There was a time after the revision when the RSD was all flared up again, head to toe, hair falling out. I had allodynia, which is that funny purple coloring that comes with CRPS head to toe. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't get to sleep. I was having anxiety about sleeping. I shared that with you guys. The phantom pain was crazy, and I kept saying, I got this, I got this, I got this. You know what? Whew, I got it settled down, and looking back now, I'm like, wow, I didn't think that was going to happen. And my therapist the other day said, I didn't think we're going to be at this point where we got the new socket on. My leg is still way bigger. It was started at 38 centimeters. It's now like 54 centimeters. So I'm still trying to figure out the fashion thing. But anyway, I am standing here, I'm cooking, I've got my leg on, and that's what I'm supposed to be doing. But I want to share it with you all because I've had so many prayers and so many amazing comments and support from y'all. So I just want to share this from my kitchen to your kitchen, from my home and my heart to your home and your heart. I wish you the very best, and I just want to be an inspiration. I want to share and help answer any questions. That's why this is Ask Dr. Heather, because there's a lot of noise out there. It can be very confusing of what's good for your body, what's not good for your body. You definitely don't want to fast forever. We are getting ready to do our monthly reboot that we do as a group. We kick it off November 17th, so right before Thanksgiving. Why right before Thanksgiving? Because if you reset your body, you reduce that craving. We know that we see people who are 400 or 500 pounds. How in the world do they eat 3 large pizzas or 3 large Big Macs, or how do they do that? Well, that's what resetting does. It helps you ditch the drive-through addiction. It helps ditch the craving. It helps shrink that stomach again so that you go back to saying, you know what, I can now identify when I'm hungry. It stops that carb cycle of your insulin just dumping up and down, because carbs really, only burn for 30 minutes, and then you're hungry again. And again, when we talk about fats, and I do 2 or 3 tablespoons of MCT oil because it's good for brain health. I know I've got 2 spots on my brain that need repair. I need my brain every day because it signals to my brain to the rest of my body. I need my brain to recognize I have a prosthetic on my leg, and it needs to say, hey, that's okay. We're going to make that work. And I still going to know that heel to toe gait, so I know how to make that work. And I can tell you that my prosthetic team is super surprised that I haven't walked in over 5 years, and I just put that thing on my leg and my brain remembered it. I've been visualizing it for months and months and months and manifesting what that looks like to walk. And I don't care that my residual limb is not the pretty little leg I used to have, but I visualize what that looks like walking. Don't tell my husband, but I'm visualizing what dancing's gonna look like. And I'm gonna actually go join, we've got a workout thing at church tomorrow. I'm gonna go try tomorrow. So I'm just gonna keep trying and trying things, but that's why I do a ketogenic diet. I know so many people say it's for weight loss. It's brain health. It originally started for brain health. And what we learned last weekend is that if you have someone in your family with Alzheimer's or dementia, you have to start prevention at 25 years old. 25 if you have a family history. If not a family history, 35. If you're over 35, you got to get on the game. You got to cut out the processed sugar. You got to eat real whole food. Eat peppers. They taste amazing, and they're super, super sweet. Eat real whole food. Don't even eat the packaged keto stuff that says a keto bar with all that special math all over it. And please don't get mad about the companies. I don't want to call any companies, because there's times I have grabbed a keto cookie because I want a little something, and that's okay sometimes, but just eat real whole food. Have meatloaf, have some tacos, have some chicken, have some fish. We got some haddock today. We're eating chicken today. We're going to have beef tomorrow because we're going to make a pot roast before we go to church tomorrow with some turnips, some parsnips, and carrots, and a lot of celery, because celery is so good for your body. It's a natural diuretic that's potassium sparing. So, yes, it's so important. Our body's destiny, not determined by. That's right, Cherie. Absolutely. Well said. So anyway, I'm going to actually jump off. I just want to join this with you guys today. I wanted to share this with you. If you do want more information, I'm so passionate. Before my surgery, I did 2 cycles of fasting. I didn't know I was going to share that today. I just wanted to share that there's no excuses when it comes to actually cooking your family amazing meals, but it is a joint effort. I gave my husband a list. Actually, I asked our 17-year-old who's been not eating very good at home, I said, well, what do you want? And he goes, I want a steak night with like grilled mushrooms, and I want Chipotle chicken, and I want lasagna. And so what do? We either make a gluten-free lasagna, or we do a lasagna with eggplant, and then I do it dairy-free for me, and we'll do a little bit of dairy for him because he seems to do well with dairy. And then again, we may do a little bit of basmati rice for the other fellas who are 20 and 23. And then Dr. Ralph and I will just do either pork rinds, or maybe we'll do some cauliflower rice. We always have some in the freezer, or we've got some miracle rice, whatever's kind of around, but we don't need it. Gosh, you just want all these yummy, yummy vegetables on that and yummy, yummy guacamole. So that's about what's really about. If I could give you guys one hack, and I promise that I'd pop on the month of November, which is gratitude month, and give you one hack. It's more important about when you eat than what you eat. So I really want to challenge you to eat in an 8-hour window and close each and every day with 1 to 2 things of gratitude. You don't have to make a list of 50. 1 to 2 things you're grateful for. So again, this is Dr. Heather. Have an amazing day in good health and happiness. This is Dr. Heather saying goodbye. We'll probably be seeing you tomorrow. And again, if you've got a question, drop it down below. Cheryl, if you've got a question, drop it down below. We'll be seeing you guys soon.